Democrats and leftists think the domestic terrorism against Tesla owners, Tesla dealerships, and anything that has to do with Elon Musk, really, they think it's funny. They are encouraging it by making light of these attacks against an American company owned by an immigrant. I'm smiling not because of the events themselves. They're horrific. I'm smiling because these people, they are total idiots. Jimmy Kimmel, who I promised months ago that I would never be posting anything about Jimmy Kimmel again, but he's just so horrendous. Sometimes I can't avoid it. Listen to this.
Our co-president, Elon Musk, sent a SpaceX vehicle to bring the astronauts back, and when they landed, he fired them immediately upon landing. Tesla stock is way down, almost disastrously so. People have been vandalizing Tesla vehicles, new Tesla vehicles. Please don't vandalize. Don't ever vandalize Tesla vehicles. And so...
Funny stuff, huh? Funny. So let's, even if we take away, let's say we ignore the domestic terrorism aspect just for a moment. Let's say that we ignore the fact that there are people whose property is being destroyed, allegedly at least, by other Americans. Could be foreign interest for all we know, but they are being harmed, vandalized, in many cases destroyed, for the sake of politics. That should be absolutely, positively just, Democrat, Republican, Independent, doesn't matter. Left, right, doesn't matter. You should not be encouraging this or laughing about it or any of this stuff. It's insane. I don't know what's more disappointing. Jimmy Kimmel, which that's not disappointing. We know that he's an idiot. But the fact that they were cheering American citizens, cheering for the destruction of other American citizens' property, American citizens who have done nothing wrong other than abide by the leftist notion that climate change is going to kill us in 10 years, so we better get electric vehicles. Where's the reward? The reward is, you bought the wrong electric vehicle owned by the wrong person who used to be the right electric vehicle and the right person just a couple of years ago, but hey, now he's out there. That jerk is trying to end government waste and make the government more efficient, save taxpayer dollars. He's just pure evil. But let's ignore that for a second and focus on the reality of Tesla stocks going down, which they are up, by the way, today. Praise God for that. But the fact that Tesla stocks are going down, it's not Elon Musk. He's still the richest man in the world, but there are currently, I don't know how many, but many Americans and their retirement funds and their investments, a lot of them are tied into Tesla. So your average, everyday Joe Blow, Republican, Democrat, whatever, a lot of them are being hurt by these attacks. And it's not just legacy media either. You even have former Democrat vice presidential candidate Tim Walz out there also making a fool out of himself by making light of this domestic terrorism.
Phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone. They've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So, and if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, and take out, just telling you. Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know
he's making it funny. It's funny. Oh, but we don't blame you, except you are the ones if you own a Tesla and your Tesla is getting keyed, you own a Tesla dealership and your inventory is being burned to the ground. Your employees are terrified by these domestic terrorists. Let's make jokes about it. Right? This is what Democrats and leftists are doing. They're making light of it. And that encourages those who are engaged in this domestic terrorism, whether it's lone wolves or if this is state-funded terrorism, perhaps from communist China or whoever. Maybe it is organizationally funded terrorism. There are some indications that the infamous George Soros and now Alex Soros chain of companies and NGOs, that they are behind the funding of much of this domestic terrorism. Let's be very clear, crystal clear about this. Whether you're Jimmy Kimmel or Tim Walz or any of the MSNBC hosts, because they seem to all be gloating over this, if you do not unequivocally denounce this violence, these attacks against American citizens, then you are pure scum. I mean, I'm sorry. I am more disappointed with American citizens clapping and cheering and laughing at Jimmy Kimmel or Tim Walz or whoever else is making light of this domestic terrorism. I am more disappointed in the current situation than just about anything. I mean, it's one of those situations where you feel almost embarrassed, like your kid does something that's like, they commit a crime, or they do something, they get in trouble in school, and you're really embarrassed for them. Praise God, I've never really had to, I've had to suffer a couple of those, I guess. 3 decades of parents. There have been a few embarrassing moments, but you love them and you get over it. Well, I love my fellow Americans. I love the people that are out there, even the ones that I disagree with. But this is challenging. This is embarrassing. This is like, oh my gosh, really? You're going to laugh about the suffering of American citizens over politics? You're going to laugh? I mean, keep in mind, it's not like, we're against the MAGA people. No, I would argue that the vast majority, maybe not vast, but a good majority of the people who own Teslas, who are being harmed as a result of this stupidity, many of them voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. It's not like, we have a political, ideological disagreement with this particular person, so we're going to vandalize their car. No, it's just, hey, you bought a Tesla. The way that, by the way, left-wing media and legacy media and Democrats and everybody, they were all about that, 3 or 4 years ago, before buying X, before talking about free speech, before his red pilling into being more focused on supporting freedom, and then eventually supporting President Trump and joining the Trump administration. Before all that, Tesla, that's great. Look at how amazing Tesla is. Look at this amazing technology. Look at Elon Musk. He's going SpaceX, and he's going with Tesla, and he's doing all these great things. That was legacy media before. Now, many of these domestic terrorists were cheering on Tesla and Elon Musk. We're going to save the planet. Now, all of a sudden, they're going after the people that bought into their own rhetoric, the people that believed them when they said, we've got to buy Teslas or else the world is going to melt in 8 years. Those people are being rewarded by not just the domestic terrorists, but also Tim Walz, Jimmy Kimmel, their audiences that are laughing at this stuff. They're being rewarded by being ridiculed, by being vandalized, and yes, by being terrorized. Open up the floodgates of your understanding of what's happening in the world around us. You can do this by subscribing to my very special newsletter. I only publish my most important work there, probably 2-3 times a week max. Go to jdrucker.substack.com, jdrucker.substack.com. It's free.